Clay McKinney, Developer On-Ramp Introduction to CSS for Developers. We're talking about typography. We're talking about font size. In the last lesson, we talked about M, which is an M space, and that is the same as the font size would have been. So if your font size is 12 points, then an M is 12 points. So if your font size was planning on being 12 points and you said it's 2M, then now it's going to be 24 points. Okay? In this lesson, we're going to change this up a little. We're going to change this to REM, and the R stands for relative. So it's a relative M space. And this is a relative M space. And what that means is that it's relative to the root. And so we're setting the root here. And so now 2 rem will be twice as big as the root. This H2 will be twice as big as the root, same as it was before, with an exception that I'll have to show you. Okay, so it looks exactly the same as it did before, right? It's a relative M, but it's relative to the root. It might be root M. Anyway, it's REM. Okay, remember that thing we did. I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna put this silly strong tag back in, and we're going to recreate that rule that said H2 strongs are going to be font size, and before we said that they were going to be font size 1.8 M, and it made it almost twice, it made the strong almost twice as big as the H2. But if we make it REM, then it's actually, these are going to be the same thing because they're both relative to the root size. Make sense? So it's going to look very different than it did in the last exercise. See? Instead of strong being twice as big, it's actually the same size. This is newer. The M measurement has been around since the birth of CSS2, maybe earlier than that, and I've always loved it, and it's great. This is the new guy, but I like it. I think it's easier to predict because because everything is relative to the same thing. Instead of when things are nested, they build up on each other and they compound. With the M measurement, they compound and they build on each other when they're nested. That might be what you need, right? You might need to say that your strong tags will be 1.2 size, 1.2 M of whatever they were going to be. So that way your strong tag would make a 72-point font a little bit bigger, and your strong tag would make a 36-point font a little bit bigger. Maybe that's what you need. But I think in a lot of cases, this REM thing is what we need. All right? Because it's just so easy to calculate, and you can look at it and just sort of instantly know how big that's going to be. Hope you like it, and I will see you next time.